just gone past 2:30 p.m. on a Thursday, and I finished my physio working week, and it's just the best feeling when you get there. I'm actually going to be going to Wellnest, a recovery centre that's right near London Bridge, and it has a mixture of saunas, cold plunges, and even a jacuzzi, and you just get to mix between all three, so it's going to be the perfect way to settle into a weekend.
There's a ton of benefits to both sauna and cold plunge, from release of endorphins to muscle relaxation to even having clearer skin. But for me, it was about just trying to enjoy the present. Living in London, having grown up in Australia, has been so revolutionary to be so close to Europe and just enjoying traveling every couple of months. It is still crazy to me to think within a couple of hours you can be in a completely different country, when I would barely have gone anywhere in Australia in that time. And so I found myself really just looking forward always to that next trip without actually enjoying the present and enjoying the experience of being in London itself. And since London is such an amazing city, I wanted to do something to just really kind of ground the experience and help me to enjoy the present itself. And I thought doing something intentional like a sauna, cold plunge, and doing that contrast therapy would be both fun and beneficial from a health perspective. Now, I have tried a couple of saunas, from the steam ones where you pour the water over the hot rocks to the red light ones, but I hadn't actually done much contrast therapy, so from the cold to the saunas themselves, and there is even a jacuzzi there, which is pretty cool. Now, this next bit is specifically for physios, and what I want to go through is 3 of the most important principles to succeed in private practice, particularly when you're a new physio. Okay, I'm locked and loaded. I've just made myself a white hot chocolate, apple strudel white hot chocolate. Anyway, let's get right into those 3 principles.
The first thing is, and I think it often catches new grads out by surprise, is that you are going to be judged and evaluated on how full your diary is and your rebooking rates. And so you can become so hung up on this that it actually distracts you from just giving a good session to the client. And obviously you don't want that. You don't want that in your head as you're trying to better yourself and give your clients the best treatments. So what you want to do is come up with a framework that's going to help you best navigate that in a way that makes it easier for you and also helps the patient. And so one framework that I like to use is to explain, okay, this is what you've actually got. This is how long we expect it to take for you and what the kind of session frequency will look like heading forward. And then from that, you seamlessly can transition into rebooking them in a smooth way. I just find that having a very simple 2, 3, 4-step process that you kind of work through with each patient, after you've done that a few times, it just becomes second nature and just so much smoother, so much less effort, and takes away that uncertainty for both you and the patient, which ultimately helps get them better outcomes. And my second point is to come up with a system to minimize the take-home work. What I mean by that is particularly notes. For instance, you've got to be doing CPD already. You might have reports that you have to do for insurances or companies. And so if you also have to go and write a note for each patient, that is just gonna be draining for you. It's less sustainable, and then it takes away from the other tasks that you want or should be doing. And so some people will use AI notes to help them. Some people will just type notes during the session. Some will leave a couple of minutes as a buffer to then be able to type their notes quickly before the next patient. And I mean, even from an accuracy standpoint, if you're doing a whole day's work and then trying to remember what your first patient did or the objective test they did, it's going to be very messy. And so have a very good, clear system that you can type notes effectively, reduce the amount of time you need to spend at home doing those notes, and then that will streamline your whole process. And my third point is to keep a library of exercises. You're going to be able to build on this, refine it, start to understand which exercises work best for which conditions at which stage of their recovery. And over time, it's just going to help you be able to draw different influences. Maybe you go to a CPD event and pick up a couple of new exercises. And again, it's just going to make it more simple for you. It's going to help you not become stagnant and hopefully just prescribe the same exercises for each condition, but refresh and remind you of your full exercise library that you've got access to, and you can start to differ that and help different patients at different stages of their recovery. So they're 3 principles and tips that I've come to appreciate over the first couple of years of my practice as a physio, especially in a private practice setting, that I hope will really enhance your own practice. I've got plenty of other days in the life, so go check out that playlist here.